I expressed my gratitude as well as my Lithuanian and Estonian colleagues to our Nordic partners, first and foremost for their courageous policy at the beginning of the 90s. And special thanks goes to the Icelandic colleagues for their very strict position at the end of the 80s and in the 90s when they first recognized the restoration of our independence. I also expressed my gratitude to Sweden, Norway, Denmark and Finland for the support to our reform process, to integration in NATO and the EU. But looking back at these 25 years, I have to say that this is one of the rare occasions when we used all the opportunities and did everything right. We didn't miss anything. We did everything on time, and our cooperation regionally with regards to many issues, political, economic, security, defense, culture, education, is very, very close. But this was not just a celebration session. We also discussed the need to cooperate more closely both in the EU and in NATO, considering the processes and events that are currently topical, especially after the Brexit referendum. Also considering the situations that currently can be observed in the East. And we agreed that we will closely coordinate our position with regards to discussions on the European future. We basically have the same approach, the same way of thinking in or as to all these issues. Though we are only 6 in NATO and in the EU, and not 8, this format still allows us to exchange opinions and inform our Icelandic and Norwegian friends about the EU processes and our Finnish and Swedish friends about the NATO processes. So actually, the role of this format is on the rise. We also discussed quite a lot the current situation in the world. We had very good discussion, and we spent quite a lot of time on discussing the situation in Turkey. Among us, we have very many important people. First and foremost, we have Estonia, who is currently a chairing country of the European Council. Marina just returned from Turkey and informed us about the discussions. We also have representatives from the UN Security Council, Ms. Wallström. And on behalf of us, I think I can claim that we definitely do not support and we reject the idea of a military coup in Turkey, and we have always strictly supported the democratically elected Turkish government, but we also discussed the need to follow the rule of law, to ensure the transparency of investigation processes and compliance with the respective European human rights conventions. We also discussed the extraordinary meetings that will take place in Strasbourg on the 7th of September, and we will continue our consultations as to this. We also discussed Ukraine, Russia, and I would like to say that as to these issues, we have the same position. We believe that there are no grounds to review the current sanctions applied to Russia until the Minsk agreement is implemented. At the same time, we believe that we have to promote a dialogue with the Russian Federation to try to solve issues of importance that are related to Ukraine and Syria, as well as issues that are related to the security situation. So we have the same positions as to this. We also discussed Syria and fight against the so-called Islamic State. We congratulated our colleagues from Sweden with having been elected to the UN Security Council. And we are quite happy that there is one place for this region in the Security Council. It was Lithuania before, and now it's Sweden, and we will definitely support our colleagues in the future. And since some of our countries have acted as candidates during the previous period of time, and we agreed that we will actively cooperate by means of the Swedish representation, and we will also support each other in various international organizations. So it was a very important meeting, and I don't want to use this monopoly to speak, but if any colleagues would like to add something, please feel welcome. Unfortunately, I guess you will not be able to listen to all of the colleagues, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And now I would like to give the floor to Lilja, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iceland.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the hospitality we have received here today. This has been a very important day and a very important meeting. One of the reasons is that we want to congratulate the people of Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia on restoring the independence 25 years ago. And today is also a very special day because exactly 25 years ago, the ministers of foreign affairs, they signed an agreement in Reykjavik restoring the diplomatic relationship between the countries. So Iceland was extremely proud to be the first country in the world to recognize your independence. So it's very special for me to be here, and this is a very important act in our foreign history. The cooperation between the countries has been important, and it has been very interesting to see the prosperity and the economic growth of all the Baltic countries. And it shows that the independence and recognizing it at such an early stage was absolutely the right decision. And we're very proud to have participated in that. So thank you very much for this meeting. It was very productive, and it's very nice to be with all the colleagues in this very good group. Thank you.
Thank you, Lilja. Paldies, Margot.
I join Lilja in saying thank you very much for inviting us, for having us here, for your hospitality, for offering this platform and this opportunity to sit together with colleagues in the Nordic Baltic countries and discuss topical issues, and you've heard which ones, but also demonstrate the unity, the common views that we have on so many of the difficult issues that we have to tackle every day, and also wanting to show that we believe in this kind of cooperation, in multilateralism, in the dialogue that we experience. And it has been in an informal way, without too many scripted speeches. It makes it a bit longer sometimes, but I think also more meaningful. And you always do it with generosity and a friendship that means a lot to all of us. I want to say welcome to Stockholm next week to my Baltic colleagues, because we also want to celebrate the 25 years of independence and 25 years of close cooperation. And I just want to say again, thank you, and I think I speak on all of us in saying that. It has been lovely to be here, and hope to see you next week.
Thank you, Margot. Paldies. I don't see...
Okay, I'll say.
Okay, Marina, please.
I as well.
And then Timo.
Edgars, thank you. I'd like to align myself with everything what has been said by you, by Lilja, by Margot. But what I want to add, I'd like to thank you and your team for doing the job, the chairmanship of the Nordic Baltic format throughout the year. You've done a terrific job. So thank you for that, and all the best to the next incoming chairman, Norway.
And I also want to thank you, Edgars, and Latvian crew for hosting us, and it is very precious that we in these troubled times have a good format NB8 to discuss about all the matters concerning the topical issues in the world. And of course, one of our priorities is the security issues in the Baltic Sea and the neighborhood. And I'm really, really pleased that we share all the main lines with each other and each countries. I'm also very grateful to be here and celebrate 25 years of Baltic independence. When I was in the university, the situation was very different and not many people see the dream coming true, but it did, and it was right.
I have to say something as well. Everyone thanking, so let me also thank, but I'd like to thank our Nordic friends first of all, because we looked at our 25 years of cooperation. We remember the beginning, we remember how they supported us in the field of security everywhere. At the beginning we were talking like 5+3, you remember, then later it became 8. And slightly from cooperation, from coordination, we are moving towards integration, horizontal ties, now improving, strengthening brand of Nordic Baltic 8, which is becoming famous, wanted to others, for others to meet, and we really should build upon that. So we're going ahead with optimism, with feeling of unity, and feeling of potential to improve. Thank you.
Paldies. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, please.
Hello, I'm Jadar Diels from Reuters News Agency. My question goes to the ministers of the Baltic states and also to all the ministers from the Nordic countries, and it relates to energy sector. The US Vice President Joe Biden said that Nord Stream 2 pipeline project is a bad deal for Europe. What's your position and reflection on this comment, and perhaps do you have a common position when it comes to this project? Thanks.
Well, I'll start and then I will pass the floor to the colleagues. Just very briefly, I think that we have been always very clear here in Latvia that we consider Nord Stream 2 as a bad project for many reasons. We have also discussed this when Vice President Biden was here earlier this week and when he met with all 3 Baltic presidents, as well as in our bilateral meetings, and here I think that our position is very close. I will pass now to whoever wants to start. Okay, we'll start with Linus in a kind of opposite order, please, Linus.
Yeah, thank you. In brief, we expressed this our opinion not once, not twice. It's nothing new. We slammed this opinion or impression that this is purely commercial project because it cannot be just commercial. Energy is politics today. It's little to do with our energy union endeavors. With the third package, with diversification. We really see damage for regional relations, especially with regard to the Ukraine, because it's skipping Ukraine from the roots, and frankly very difficult to explain why it is doing. So we have a lot of doubts about this project. We expressed not once, and we'll repeat this position in the course of coming so to say meetings, because it's not just our position. I believe it's shared by many. We really should be more consistent in this regard.
I'll pass now to Margot.
Well, basically Nord Stream 2 is a commercial project with huge security policy and energy and climate change policy implications. And that is why it is important also to our countries, even though it does not pass through our territory, but in our economic zone. So it would be to us as one country very difficult to sort of stop it on our own. But we are working with other countries and we are in our own country looking at especially the security policy implications. And we will take necessary measures to make sure that it does not have an impact, a bad impact on our possibility or on our security situation. And we will also make sure that we look at it through the lens of having agreed in the European Union on energy issues and also climate and environmental issues. And I think those are the tests that we should make for this project. We haven't received an application yet, but we will take, of course, a position when we see the application. We will have, lawfully, we will have, I think, rather limited chances to sort of stop it from an international law point of view, but we have to look after these other aspects of it.
Timo.
Yeah, Finnish position is more or less alike with Sweden. We are dealing with the matter accordingly, and of course, if the application comes from its due Finnish legislature, where we will deal about the matter and environmental issues and all that kind of activities are taking in notice. What comes to the energy things, of course, European Union Commission is in focal point on this.
Thank you. Any other questions? Kādi citi jautājumi? Lūdzu.
Thank you. Aigars Lazdiņš, TV3 News Latvia. I wanted to ask, Lithuania has repeatedly expressed concerns about the new nuclear power plant that is being built in Belarus near your border. Did you raise this issue in these talks with your colleagues, and do the other ministers have any positions on this? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Of course, we raised this issue during our meeting, also at the previous meetings, because we believe it's not just our headache, it's not just our Lithuanian problem, because this is nuclear power plant which is built in our conviction and violation of international standards. And this is really something more important than something some other objects could be built around. And it's not because it's 50 kilometers from Vilnius, our capital, it's 150 from Minsk, so it's also detrimental for them. But it's about standards, about procedures, and we are trying to convince, first of all, our Belarusian neighbors, but definitely we rely on solidarity and understanding of other countries in the region to raise these issues. And nuclear safety should be among the priorities also in the cooperation of Nordic Baltic countries as well, because it's becoming more and more important. So, in brief, that's the case. We still believe that Belarusians will change their attitude, will take it more seriously, because it's for own sake as well. It's not so to say it's at the expense of their security. It's vice versa. It's for that, and we hope that in the course of coming, so to say, time, the situation will be improved.
Anyone? I can only add that we have raised this issue with both, with Belarusian side when Foreign Minister Mackay visited Riga early July, also with the Director General of International Atomic Energy, because he also visited Latvia a couple of months ago, and we stressed that we want to see that the project develops according to the highest international safety standards. We agreed also with Belarusian side to continue discussions on this because we really also want to see that any kind of such of developments are being conducted in the highest safety standards. So I think that the dialogue will continue on this matter. There was the question, please.
Alexander Welcher from the German press agency DPA. Mr. Rinkiewicz, you mentioned at the beginning that you all eight share same ideas or similar ideas about the future of Europe after the Brexit. Could you elaborate a bit more on that, how you envisage the future of Europe? Thank you.
What I said exactly was that we share the idea that we need to first closely coordinate our position when it comes to the debates on future of Europe, and this debate is only unfolding. As you know, we are going to have meeting of heads of state and government in Bratislava in September. That's one. Second, I think that we are of the same opinion after discussions we had yesterday and today that we need to have strong Europe, Europe that provides security and safety of all its citizens, guarding its borders, not losing also the human principles that we all share. Second, we were talking a lot about the need to have more coordination and more work and effort also about economy, the growth and jobs, that all what we have achieved so far, single market, digital market, energy issues, that those issues need to be continued. Then we were also discussing yesterday particularly in the ministerial format that we really want to see also that there is more, let's say, accountability of the European institutions to the people, that there are sometimes disconnect between what is being done, let's say, by institutions and then nation states within the European Union on one hand, but then on the other hand, let's face it, for many politicians in European nations, it's very easy always to blame Brussels on everything, also on their own responsibility and work or job being done or not done. So what I wanted to say is that we will continue very close coordination and cooperation addressing the shape of Europe in the future, but then when it comes to particular issues that also is going to affect Europe, we were also spending a lot of time debating the Brexit and the issues of the Brexit. And I think that, again, we all are of the same opinion that we want to see United Kingdom as close to Europe as possible, be it economy, be it security, be it common foreign policy, but then this debate is still at the beginning. We all are hearing that the United Kingdom, the government of the United Kingdom is not going to trigger Article 50 this year, that they are still in preparation, and we are also debating some of those issues. So this is the process where our kind of, internal discussion within the European Union as well as in this format is only unfolding. So, and that concludes our press briefing and press conference. Thank you very much for coming. Paldies visiem, ka atnācāt. And thank you to my colleagues for really being great participants in the format. So, thank you.
Thank you. Great students. Yeah.